Hi, let's go ahead and take a look at SIS and particularly how to use the student data grid. Okay, the student data grid offers you a whole bunch of information as a teacher, and you can kind of customize it how you need. And so you can see over here on mine I have favorites student data grid. We could click on this if you have a favorite in place and access that. But another way that we can use the student data grid, or access it anyway, is to go up to View, Maintain, and then come down to Student, and then click on Student Data Grid and Grouping. It's kind of in the middle of the options there. At that point in time, we have everything we need to get started. Alright, now let's get familiar with this. We can select all active enrollments. So as a teacher, that's going to pull in every kid on your roster, no matter who their homeroom teacher is. Next door to that, we have Get All by Homeroom Teacher. And so it's going to coordinate all of your students based on their homeroom teacher. You can also add individual students, which is really convenient. I'm going to go ahead and add my child, since I don't have to worry about privacy issues there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring them in so that we can work on this. And you can see it pre-populates with information that you've already set up. Now, from this, I can add content. Okay, I can select columns to display. Let's take a look at this. So right here on the left, you'll see this is kind of bisected by this option here. Kind of a little column there of move things to this side or move things back to that side. And we have this side here is the display field. Okay, we have 6 fields currently chosen, and we can have a maximum of 60 fields that can be selected. Now that's going to be the number of columns in the data grid. Okay, on this side we have your options. Okay, we have fields not showing. These are things that you have the option of bringing over, but you don't have currently. Now here's a cool thing too. You can click, say I want a student email address to be further over to the left. In order for that to take place in my data grid, I need to bump it up here. And so I select, and then I come down here and rearrange. Okay, and so at this point in time I could click done, and now you can see student email is moved from where it was on the right all the way over here next to the last name. Pretty convenient way of organizing things. Let's go back in there though, because I don't really want this information right now. What I would rather have is parent information for this kid. So you can see I'm just scrolling over here on the right, and I'm going to scroll down until I get into the parent section. Okay, now we could bring in parent 3, 4, all kinds of different numbers of parent information that are in there. But what I specifically want to get to is this information right here. Okay, I want to get parent work address, and remember this is their employer address. If you want other information, you're going to need to keep scrolling and get that information elsewhere. One really nice thing to do is use Command F and then just type in parent if you're on a MacBook, but it would be Control F if you were on a PC. And so that's the find function, basically the find tool, and you can see that's going to really highlight everything according to my needs. So that's just a little extra tidbit there. Now here's a big one that a lot of teachers are going to want to pay attention to, and that is whether or not the acceptable use policy has been signed by the parent. We can click this and bring this over. Now what that's going to show you is, yeah, this kid has parents who have signed off, yes, my child can use technology within the school district. But another one that we'll want to use, let's say that we're in a BYOD scenario, we can type in BYOD and now bring over whether or not this child's parent has signed off for them to use BYOD, so they can bring their own device, access the network using that device, etc., etc. So this is really great information for us to use. Okay, next we're going to use our find tool, and we're going to type in whether or not Google Apps for Education has been approved. Bring that across. You can see how we're building this report to get the information we need. We just click done, and now you can see that those columns are now populating for this student. Okay, now it does have the student agreement because I already had that in place. Let's go back over there and say, well, I don't really want to see that. Let's take the student agreement off, okay, and remove that. And now it has BYOD agreement signed by the parent. That's all I really cared to know. All right, so we click done. Come back over here, and now we can see that information is populating with the corresponding answers down below on whether or not it's true or not. Really, the information you're looking for is a Y, because that means yes, this child is cleared. Anything other than Y means nope, they're not cleared. You need to check in with the administrator, perhaps call the parent, see if they understood what's going on there. Great information for you to have within SIS. That's the student portal as far as, or I'm sorry, student data grid within SIS. Tons of things that you can pick from. To go ahead and get in there and kind of manage that information and get familiar with all of your options there. Hope that helps. Take care.